Hi, and we're back with Module 4 of the Agile Operations Fundamentals. And in this one, we're going to talk about mobilizing for process improvement. It covers getting the team ready to start doing serious process improvement. Most teams will find their process improvement steps while they're in the operate mode. So they would have done some value stream mapping, looked at their metrics, and identified key bottlenecks and wasteful activities as discussed in the earlier modules of this course. Once the team leaders and the teams decide that they want to undertake an improvement process, it's very important to spend a bit of time mobilizing for this. And in this stage, what you would do is decide on the target process and scope that you're trying to improve, do some stakeholder mapping to decide who should be there, set up the value stream workshop, and invite the right stakeholders. Deciding on the scope is one of the first steps. So here's an example process flow for the recruitment process. It's a level 1 recruitment process flow. You define the requirements, you advertise the job, you select the candidates based on their CVs, you make them an offer, and then you onboard them. This is a pretty traditional process flow. Now you could decide that in this scope of improvement, you're only looking at these two level 1 processes, or maybe you're looking at these two. Or you may want to look at the entire end-to-end value stream because that makes the most sense. But whatever it is, it's very important to think about this and discuss with the leaders involved and decide on the scope. Now, once you've decided on the scope, then you have to do a stakeholder mapping exercise. So get a few of the key people together and start putting up sticky notes around the process which highlight the key people that are going to be involved in this. So look at the departments that actually do this, the stakeholders. There could be suppliers, there could be training companies, there could be external companies, there could be internal stakeholders as well. Put your sticky notes out and try and get representatives from each group, and you want to get representatives that actually know the process. These are not so much people who document the process or manage the process. It's the actual doers. Try and get somebody who understands the nuts and bolts of how the process works. And always in every organization, there's always one or two people who know the process inside out, but it's in their head. And you want to get those people in there. Once you have the people in there, it's very important to decide what are the roles for this process improvement. The leaders that are there across the various process silos and across the process should be present. And it's advisable to have one person put their hand up and be the improvement champion for this improvement process. This person would be responsible for driving this improvement process, making sure the right people are there, making sure that you have a good facilitator. In essence, this person is the servant leader who makes this all happen. So what would be the agenda for such a workshop? What we're talking about here is a 1-day kind of workshop at the maximum. Don't stretch it to longer than that. Get the key stakeholders in the room. And what you want to do is run a value stream mapping exercise to identify the key bottlenecks and waste and the improvement initiatives. So the agenda would be a short introduction. You would do an as-is value stream mapping exercise, which is covered in Module 6 of this course. You would define the problems identified. You would specify the desired outcomes or even set yourself BHAGs or big, hairy, audacious goals. You would look at a solution hypothesis for the to-be value stream. What would the to-be be? And you would come out with some actions. Now, at the maximum, 2 days if it's a very complex process, but try and keep it simple and keep it to a day. It's amazing how much you can do in a day. And the whole purpose of this is to get shared understanding of the problem. It always surprises me how a process that has been running for years is still not understood the same way, even though people are reading the same documents and looking at the same process. Once you do the exercise and the people are in the room, it's amazing how much of wisdom and knowledge can come out of shared understanding. We then want to organize the kickoff workshop. Where is it going to be held? When is it going to be held? What are the suitable times? You may want to break the day down into 2 or 3 little workshops of a couple of hours each, or you may want to do it in one workshop spread over 1 or 2 days. Who are the participants? How are you going to structure the workshop? What's the agenda? Make sure that's in there. And most of all, what's the purpose of the workshop. Do not forget to order food. It's amazing what food can do to make a team highly productive. So make sure they're well fed, morning tea, food, and good afternoon tea as well. And get an external facilitator to run the workshop if possible, or one of the people themselves who are capable of facilitating such a workshop would be ideal. This summarizes the mobilize phase, and it's useful to take some time to do this and not jump into solving of the problem without spending some time to set it up for success. Finally, happy workshopping and all the best.